Good evening and welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Episode 3 already. Yeah, I've got the script out. I've done a pretty good job of all the video, got it all together. I'm really pleased with it. It's gone well. This video is broken into 3 sections again. It's over 2 days, 1 night. That's what this says. And the beard, it gets trimmed in this episode, so look out for the beard, look out for the continuity errors. There are a couple of continuity errors. I'm human, I'm sorry, that's the way it is. Right, in this video we're going to go through some of the briquette things that a lot of you have followed me about, the briquettes. So these are them over my shoulder. This is made out of my waste sawdust in the workshop, and go into that. I actually burned some later as well. There's a clip of me burning them and showing a difference between some of them. This is a big step forward, a big step forward. So yeah, catch that bit. I've got the evening class guys, Matt, he's rub jointing some wood together, so that's good. Some useful little tips there on how to rub joint. I like rub jointing. Burning the timbers, that's it, and the seats, the bench seats. I'm doing some more work on that bench seat, so you'll see it. Yeah, enjoy this episode, and if it gets a bit, just go to the comments, look through the comments. There's some great comments usually, and have a chat on there. Community, put a bit of, say what you feel, put it in there, and enjoy. Good morning, another day, another dollar. I was supposed to take the dog a walk. Well, I was going to take the dog a walk, but because it's been raining, the ground's wet, she doesn't want to go a walk, and she really doesn't want to go, so she's digging her heels in. So the dog's lost, really. It's a bit wet. Right, let's get on with some stuff. Oh, this morning, oh, you'll like this. This morning, this is being tamed. So we will see. Not been there before, been recommended, and we'll see what they do, see how good I look. It could be scary. Catch you in a bit. It looks better, doesn't it? Looks tidy. I think there's some grey gone. Woohoo! Alright, so I'm going to get on with some work. Hello. Lots to get on with today, so it's going to be a blooming good day. Let's get some light in here. Oh, the routine when you come in the morning, you just switch everything on. It's just has to be done, doesn't it? It gets you in the, gets you ready for the day. Right, let's get on with things. First job of the day is get these briquettes numbered. Sounds mad, but I'll get to that in a bit. Briquettes are made with my band sawdust, my table sawdust, dust off the floor, and with some coffee from the cafe next door. Coffee helps burn 30% hotter than wood, and it's an ethically good way of woodworkers getting rid of their dust. This is my little red book, and in here from batch number 1 I started making notes on what is going into each batch. It means that when they go on the fire, I can keep an eye on what's in there, how it's burning, and then replicate, either replicate exactly the same, or look at it and think, actually, this burns better than that one. I should have put more coffee in this one. I should have left it longer in the bucket. It just gives me a really good insight into what is the perfect recipe for a briquette. I just feel I need to explain a bit about numbering the briquettes. Some might say that it's a little bit over the top. I suppose it's a way of having a certain amount of control over a process. I built boats. It was all process driven. You've got to do the right thing. You've got to understand what you've done. You've got to be able to measure things. So this really suits, but also with the students I have from the college that may have autism or need just extra help with things. It's a good way for them to see and get an understanding. And I've had a couple of students that really, really enjoyed making the briquettes, and it was hard with some of them. Some of them would understand a continuous improvement sort of, I've made a mistake with this because of that, I need to not do that again, and then some wouldn't get it. So it's really interesting to see how different students, different people have how different we all are. But anyhow, I want to progress with this, I want to do a good job with it, and I want to, it's just worth doing. It's a small price to pay for getting and understanding good results or bad results. Just move that lot from down there on here, and it's quite a messy mix actually. It's fallen apart, and it was wanted to really stick to the boards. It really didn't want to let go, so I think it was a bit too sticky, but hey ho, we'll see. Batch 16, getting these sorted so the student can put them on for me. I don't spend too long on them. Wednesday night, Matt's back. Matt's gluing together some little pieces of wood.
Lovely oak.
Lovely oak, like that there. But with rub joint in it, and I suppose I've not really done rub joints with people before. So, the thing that I look for on a rub joint, zoom out.
Do you want me to hold it? So to speak. You're going to do the demo. There you go, look.
So, what I look for when I'm doing when I'm gluing two pieces together like this, they are just going to be glued, no mechanical fixing like a biscuit joint. Right, so what I do is I push the outer, can you see my fingers? I push the outer parts to see if this opens. Do it again.
Right.
So, you can see everything. Stay where you are.
Stay where you are.
Stay where you are.
Right.
So, these are going to be rub jointed together. I push on this end here, these corners here, to look at that gap there. Now that gap, no, don't mess with the zoom. You move in and out.
Don't mess with the zoom.
It's like having a 4-year-old.
I can't even do this right. I can't. Hold on. Right, go on. So you've done here.
So yes.
Right.
So then I go to zoom out and stay out.
Okay.
Just let me do it.
Jamie, you're having fun.
Right, then I push those corners in and look at this gap here. So that tells me that both of these, or one of them, has got what I would call a belly, or it's rounded in the middle. There's a pivot point somewhere here. We don't know which one. So what we can do is, Matt's got a big pencil here, of course he has. We can put a line across there. We lift these two up. We put a cramp on, no we don't. We put a square on the bench, and then we hold those two like that.
And why is the square important?
It just means that you're picking it up correctly and square.
Okay.
Now I grip that side. This is the joint side. Open the vise. Don't touch it on the bars at the bottom. It's going to be in free air. Now these still feel flush because they were flush on the bench. These still feel flush. And now all it needs is, shall I do it, Matt?
Go for it.
So I'll use your plane a bit differently. So all I want to do is take the middle out because I know there's a high spot in the middle of, I don't know which one. So with Matt's lovely plane, I'm going to put the two lines there. I'm just going to put the mouth just beyond the start there and take it off just before the end there. In fact, I might do that twice. I'm going to put a bit of weight on actually. And the problem could have been those. That could have been the problem. We can see the pencil lines have gone from here and not from this side. I don't know why. I don't know how true your plane's set up neither.
I think it'd be perfect, Jamie.
What should do? So, we'll put those on there now. Push this end, and it's opening just as much. Push that end. No, so it still needs a bit more. So, back up again. I'm going to use my plane, because I know how my plane's set up. Pause it. Just press the pause button. Oh. There is a slight. This one's a little bit iffy. Taking quite a bit off. Oh, nice, nice. Bit more blade. Not ready for this. Not rehearsed. That feels pretty good. Take that out. Yeah, the pencil line's
still pencil line there, isn't it?
Open it up. Now we can push here. That end, bottom's not opening. Push here, top's not opening. In fact, what we've got is a very slight gap in the middle now, which if we're going to put it under cramps, that's all right. We can accept a slight gap in the middle. That's good. That would do me.
Thank you, Jamie.
Now, not much glue on there, and probably the excess from there with your finger could go straight onto here.
Maybe a bit more.
See, it does this thing, doesn't it, where it goes a bit...
Yeah. Just a little bit more.
A little bit. And I mean, this is oak, so it's got plenty of cell structure to go into, hasn't it? Nice.
Right.
Pencil line.
mark.
Yeah,
Pencil
thank
mark.
you. Yeah.
So this is quite
Push backwards and forwards. This is quite what?
quite lubricated at the moment,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Careful what you say.
But as I rub it, I can feel it starting to become harder to push.
Yes. Not stiffen up.
Less lubricated now. This is serious stuff. This is educational stuff.
This could get me banned.
Much less.
Yeah. And it doesn't want to move anymore.
I could probably force it, but it's
Just leave it then.
pretty solid
So
there.
clean off, wipe a bit of the excess away. And I would only do the excess from the ends where I was going to put those. And I'd worry about the middle bits after.
Because I've got to plane it anyway.
Right, got some little packers. And this is just to make sure it's aligned. So it's not actually cramping. There's no real pressure on this.
Oh, I've got different things, Jamie. Hold on.
I can do this on my own, but filming and not too much pressure. That's it. We haven't put that one in cramps yet. Sash cramps?
No.
Feel that.
Well, I can.
We'll do it now.
Yeah.
Done?
Job done.
That's it. So now we'll just get a couple of sash cramps from up there and we'll cramp it up. And just put it in some sash cramps just to allow it to a little bit of squeeze out. Keep it flush. Make sure everything's all right. Give it 20 minutes, half an hour in the cramps, and that will do. And one's gone, and there's still one here. Oh, da, 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 da. How you doing?
Yeah.
So these are glued up. It's got a bit of glue, more glued out of there. That one's dry, and we haven't left them long. You only have to leave them, I don't know, half an hour or so. That's in front of the heater, so that's enjoying it. And you've glued this one up while I've been showing Mark out. Looks good. We've put these, we've discussed these. Matt wants a good one and a good side, which is going to be the good. We've discussed this because Matt wants a good top and what's the best of grain orientation, and that's what we've come up with, which actually looks pretty good. It's using this.
From this angle,
It does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does look good.
Like sand dunes. That's
I mean, we could have put that next to that edge and it'd been plain and these would have been on the outside, but to put these in, there's a number of grains here that are running through there. Yeah, it's a bit sand dune-y, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. So that's good. This one is a different story. This one underneath, this is the top side, but under here there is so much what I call breakout or chatter, where the it's against the grain through the planer, so it's ripped the grain out, especially under that side. There's loads. So on this one, which is going to be hidden, go for the straight grain, and Matt's going to cut a bit off this side and a bit off that side to get dimensionally correct. But it's looking good. Happy?
Yeah.
And your process, you're happy with the process?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like
made
it.
a hell of a difference with how they come together.
And you got rid of and you didn't get a bow on this one like the last one?
No.
No. How's that thing performing?
Loving it.
Is it? Yeah, but is it? Does it need sharpening?
Oh, it probably needs a... yeah, it was taking pretty good shavings.
Cool. Cool. All right, there we done. And yeah, really good night. Really good night. Got a few things done. Matt's got his boards glued up. Mark's moving forward with his box. And a couple of video clips for you guys. Now I'm going to go home and light the fire and show you a couple of things that I've done with some of the briquettes. We'll burn a couple of briquettes and see how they burn, see how they go. So, catch you in a sec. So we've got the place to myself, and this is a good time to just move a few bits of wood around. And I've got down here a couple of briquettes. There's number 6 that can go over there, and there's one from batch 12. So there you go. We'll put batch 12 one side, batch 6 the other, and we'll leave those there for a bit and see what happens. I can't remember the difference between 6 and 12 right now, but I'll get my pad and we'll have a look. Right, so there's batch 6. Batch 6 was interesting. Started February, 4th of February, so the batch number 6 is 12 months old. Oh, we're done with old water. It's got some bandsaw dust in. BS dusted, bandsaw dust. Coffee grounds. Looks like it had got about 11.5 kilos of coffee grounds. That was pretty good. I remember this one. It was it didn't go too well, and then I added too much water and made it very sloppy. See, very sloppy in the middle there. Another bowl of water. Did put a bit of PVA in. Oh, and I had to lay them on. I remember that. I had to lay them down on planks of wood so that they could dry out because they were really wet. So yeah, I remember that. So that should be pretty good. Batch 12. Batch 12, 17th of June. Looks like I'd got... Oh, let's move that. Batch 12, I'd got 17th of June, 6 kilos. Oh, it looks like I've got 14.5 kilos of coffee grounds. Made 10. Oh, I left it 8 weeks. That's quite a bit of time. From November, they're still damp in January. That was 6 weeks later. Ah, okay, so this will be interesting. And there were some Christmas puds made. CH puds. Round Christmas puds. That's these things. Which burn really well, actually. They're great. I ought to make some more of those, really. Because they are useful for just throwing on in between other pieces of wood or all sorts. But look how that's burning in there. It's burning well. I could turn that up a bit. Flames look great, don't they? So that's cool. 25-30 minutes in, and the problem with just burning briquettes sometimes is that everything else burns away and you're left with just the briquettes. So I think I'm just going to put a couple of bits of wood around this and see if I can just keep these going. But you can see the glow. Yeah, they're doing well. I've just added 3 pieces of oak, similar size, one either side, one in the middle, and that'll keep the fire going, pushing out a bit of heat. It's quite nice. That'll stop it going out or these just burning down. And it's not particularly cold tonight, so I don't really need to make it up and heating the house with it. Right, we are an hour in, and wow, I'm going to stop it in a sec, but look, that piece of wood hasn't burnt, that one's nearly gone, that's new. Look at number 6, it's still there, but look at number 12. I love messing with them. Look how number 6 is quite thin. That's interesting. That's interesting. And number 6 was the... Yeah, number 12's actually worked out better. I wonder if the fire's not as hot on this side and that's why that hasn't burnt away. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. On my way to work, editing done for this morning, so that's pretty good, and let's go and do some of this bench, get some of this bench done. Morning after the night before. So we've got some Matt's panels. Can come out the cramps now. Just got to take all the cramps off. Not too tight. It's good to see how you don't want these things too tight sometimes, and sometimes these don't come off. I leave them there for the students to get off. It teaches them a lesson in how much glue should you use. If it falls away quite easily, then that's probably not a bad amount, but if it doesn't want to come off, like that one and that one, then it shows me that a little bit too much glue has been used, and maybe a bit less next time. Before the legs get fitted, I've got to make a slot in the top, and I use the bandsaw for doing this. Yes, that bandsaw blade from the last video is still in here. The width of the cut at the top has to marry up with the wedges I've made, so it's important I get this correct. It only goes down about 20mm into the leg, but I want each slot the same width so that the wedge that's shown when it's finished is similar. It's hard to get it exact, but it's a similar width as well, so that's what I'm after. And it'll be this wedge that holds the leg into the seat and stops it being pulled out from underneath, or it just keeps it stable and locked in place. So this is an important part. Straight on from cutting the slots for the wedges is actually fitting the wedges. Now these wedges are bandsaw made. There's an element of, I want these seats to look handmade, but I want them to look really good handmade rather than clumsily sort of one-off handmade. Anyhow, these wedges will need twisting around one way or the other. They'll fit better one way than the other because one side will be thicker than the other. And similar with the slots as well. The slots might be just a little bit because of the way the bandsaw works. So what you see there is a fitted one. I'm happy that it overlaps the diameter both sides, and that's what I've got to do. Just checking now. Get that diameter right. Once I've got that fitting right, I then mark each wedge. This to me is important. I want to make sure that right wedge goes back in that right leg. That's important. So set them up like that, and it's really looking good. And look, different colours, different sort of patterns to make sure I don't accidentally pick up the wrong one. Nothing worse than that. Right, next bit. Probably a part that some people wouldn't do, but trust me, the best seats, the guys will have done this. And you learn the hard way. You just need to knock off the corners of the wedge to make sure it marries up. And see what I'm doing here. I'm actually using the radius of the tenon to actually help radius the wedge. I want that wedge to be radius so that when you knock it in, the curvature continues. I don't want to damage the outside edge of that hole and go into the ash seat. I want to make sure that the wedge lines up exactly, and it really is attention to detail. Let's see how it works. You'll see how it works later. There you go. Look, knock the corners off, and look, you can see there, it's beautiful. And here they are, lined up, ready to go. I won't get those mixed up. This next clip is about these two legs going in, and you'll see me glue them up, align them. At one point, it's worth watching, I actually knocked the leg back out just to make sure that the wedges align with each other, because I want these two wedges on each leg to sort of be aligned so that they look right. So yeah, look out for that bit. But here you go. Here's a couple of minutes of me putting legs in. So yes, this would be classed as the slow TV part, but enjoy it. Enjoy it. Sometimes you need to watch people do things. And by the way, I am no expert chair maker. I am by no means an expert chair maker. I've made all sorts of bits and pieces, and this is the first time I've made a series of benches that match and all sorts like this. So still learning, which isn't a bad thing. Keep learning. Just looking at the alignment at the bottom of the legs here to see what's going on. And I'm going to leave you to watch the rest of this in peace and patience, and I'll chip in here and there and just enjoy watching and learning like I am through all of this. Pull it in with the clamp. That's all I can do. Seated on the floor. The last couple of bits on the floor. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and all the rest.